Got a lot more crowded down here since I last came to you from the bunker system located underneath the Art Villa, somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. It's me. Slightly less medicated Mork, that's right. Let's just cut back on that again. Oh boy. There's a reaction for every action. So, coming to you with, oh jeez. To move the camera, because there's a lawnmower, the big walk-behind lawnmower stuck down here because after 3 years I finally tried to get the truck in the garage. I never thought it would fit. And it's just barely fits. It's very tight. But why? Why? That's interesting news, sharing interesting things for today. I haven't been around for a couple weeks. Some of you are like, oh my God, thank you. This once a week thing was becoming too much of a scheduled something that we could count on. I could put a couple more on this stack. I didn't get any records this week. That's nice. I like that cover. Christmas is over with. Get that tree out of here. Where was I? Oh, so the reason I finally put the truck in the garage, I've been sitting outside for years because I never thought I could get it in the garage. Didn't try, is because I know this is just going to sound like splurging, but they say my wife bought an FJ Cruiser, you know. She did, and I drove the thing. I was just like, this is so nice. When the FJs came out originally, I thought, I wasn't exactly that thrilled with the style. Dang, this is just... Oh. I wasn't thrilled with the styling, but I drove hers and I just think, this is so nice. I have to have one. So I've been looking online for quite some time, and there was a dealer and knocked a bunch of money off of one, and it was raining and snowing. I went up and I looked at it, and I didn't really study everything about them. Raining and snowing, they couldn't put it on the lift because of OSHA regulations, so I had to crawl under on wet pavement. I took my jacket off and crawled under it. Then there was from the front back to the rear wheels looked really good, and then the rear, it just kind of rusty behind that, but it didn't look horrible. And it was older than the wife's Sherman, she called it, after the tank. 2011 this was a 2008. You can't tell them apart if you just look at it. But you know, and the insurance people redid my insurance, and I got the check back for $300. You know, so it's like I'm not paying any more for insurance. And it really wasn't all that, relatively speaking, all that much. And so it was a kind of a splurge. Birthday present to me, happy birthday, Mank Mark, 63 years old. And the thing of it is, I just really didn't have a chance to look at, you know, but we had record like warm temperatures. I crawled under it. I'm going to put a photograph up. I probably already did that. If I didn't, there it is. There they're both side by side. Sherman and Panzer. Is that the frame? It's a welded frame and it's massive. The frame's massive, and the drive shafts are massive. You know, compared to the Jeep, my '88 Jeep. It drives like a charm, and it's got locking rear end. Not that either of us will ever use locking rear end, but it's just amazing that it's a sort of an SUV marketed vehicle with a locking rear end in it. Just really made for just getting you where you need to go. I was very, very impressed with people driving. So the two things I didn't even pay any attention to was the radio. I don't listen to the radio. The long story about having radios. Like the last working radio I had in a car was the 1948 Hudson. Until I got the new truck, there was never a radio, brand new. There was never a radio in the Jeep, in the '88 Jeep, because that was back then when you had to order it as an accessory. Radios just didn't come standard, right? It was more money. So it's never had a radio in it. The radio in the Cherokee didn't work, and the truck, you're going into too much detail. So the point is I didn't turn the radio on because I just hardly ever listened to it. Well, there's an accessory. It was a radio with a giant subwoofing thing in the back. It was a Toyota accessory. So, you can play music so loud now I can sit at a stoplight and annoy people all around me just like they annoy me. So now I can get into rap music and play rap music really loud and make the trunk rattle. It's pretty amazing. And the other thing about it that I had paid no attention to is that it has a tow package on it. So unlike the wife's FJ, there are like 4 step-down gears for engine braking going down hills. Really nice. So in your drive position, which is where usually most of it. So I have a pretty good hill to go down. There's 4 step-downs that allow the engine to help brake the vehicle, which is usually in a manual vehicle you would just do it manually, right? So the automatic has got that. That's really nice. So those were surprises, and the rust, like I said, was not as bad as I thought it was, and that's the warm weather allowed me to scrape, chisel, sand, and see this. It's almost gone now. I use this. This is very interesting. I use this priming paint, rust sealing priming paint I got on Amazon called Silver Bullet. I've never had paint that, you would get it on your hands and you take a little gasoline or WD-40 or, shop soap that has the grit in it and it would come off, right? So I didn't wear gloves, right? I got this stuff on my hands and literally couldn't, I put paint stripper on it, which you don't want to do, but I did, because nothing. I didn't wait 10 minutes, I just put it on and hopefully it would come off. It was just amazing. It had to wear off. Little specks on my face, literally I could not pick. The specks of this paint on my face, this stuff was amazing. So that's a good sign that it did actually stick. And then there's this thing I discovered called film fluid, okay, which is basically I think like a lanolin product with wool in it or something. But it's apparently a good product made to help loosen up bolts and stuff like that. So it's just, the FJ is going to fall apart because all the bolts are going to come out. But it's also anti-corrosion, used for anti-corrosion, so you can spray it inside your frame. And I sprayed it where I couldn't reach to paint and clean up and paint. So for the rest of the winter, it's in pretty good shape. I'm waiting on new tires. The tires are here, the rims. I'm going to a stock steel rim because the rims were corroded, magnesium, and I already went through that. Never mind. You don't, because they'll start leaking. They tend to leak air. So it's just been a lot. It's a lot of fun to drive. I really enjoy it. I'm really happy that I picked it up. And for such an old vehicle, there's not a lot of dings and scrapes. There's a dent on the roof you can't see. They tried to put something on the rack and dented the roof, but you can't see it unless you get on the roof. So unless you're strapped to the roof of my FJ, otherwise known as AKA Panzer, you never notice it. Let's go right to the records, right? Okay, starting with the Guy Lombardo album. Guy Lombardo, but the cover on this album is outstanding. It's an outstanding cover on this Guy Lombardo album titled Soft and Sweet. That's right. Soft and Sweet. Oh, he fell down. What the hell happened here? Oh, I moved something. That's right. It's Dirk Dixon of the Royal Second Corps British Brigade in World War I. You remember him, don't you? Joy in the Morning. I don't know where. It's been a while. I don't remember where all these records came from. Joy in the Morning, the Walters Family, gospel singers. Oh, is this local? Yes, it is. It's local. Wright Records, local. And more interestingly, there's a photograph of them back getting into their van. It's the Walters Family gospel van with mag wheels. They're on their way to a concert somewhere. And this was fun. The Voices in Motion, Voices in Motion, Voices in Motion. You get the point. Simon Rady. Interesting cover, but you see this lips up here? It's winking. It's winking, winking lips. That's so awesome. Recorded in May of 1961. Voices in Motion. It's the Singing Pindels. Life's Railway to Heaven. Hey, hey, hey. Aurora, Indiana. It's not too far away from here, so basically that's local. Jerome Kern, Paul West and his orchestra. It's a double record set, big, thick, hefty double record set with a million words on it. Oh, when I blog this, I'm going to be typing all night. Nice, beautiful cover. Hi-Fi Waltzes for Ice Skating Somerset. Just a beautiful photograph on that. Jacket, solid gospel. The Good Newsmen. Clarksville, Tennessee. Wonderful cover. It's Sharon's Zadder D. It's classical music, but it's a nice cheesecakey cover. I like the graphics on the cover, so I picked it up. Gonna move where? Oh, static electricity. It's that time of year. Where are they out of? Cincinnati, Ohio. On Jewel, Gonna Move with the Gospel Singing Travel Airs. Well, of course you're gonna move. They're the travel airs. I think I already have this, but this is in shrink. It's The Magic of Denny Taylor. It was worth picking up again. That's a lovely cover. I'm sure I already have that. And speaking of lovely covers, classic favorites on tops. More classical music, but with a fine looking cover on tops. It's Errol Gardner Plays. This cover needs to be cleaned off. An interesting cover. What the hell? Where is he at? It's an interesting cover. He's playing in like some like a Tesla electrical facility someplace. I don't know. New York. Oh man. There's got to be an explanation for that. Very bizarre cover. The Singing Sands. Wow. Also local in Queen City album, it's The Singing Sands. Doce canciones, un millón de recuerdos. What the hell? San Juan, Puerto Rico, boleros, and nothing but boleros. It's Peter Nero in a double record set. Music Festival of Hips. What's on here? Love is Blue, Summer Samba, Alfie, Sunny Misty, Impossible Dream. Interesting Peter Nero album there, I think. RCA Victor. Mexico release. Navidad en Villa Fontana. It's Fontana's orchestra. Los Violines de Villa Fontana. This is a beautiful cover too. Westminster's classical music, I assume, but a beautiful cover. Liebert takes Broadway around the world in 80 days. It's also Westminster. Organist, I guess. Pipe organ. Great. Lee Michaels. I don't know. I have no idea. It's a 2-record set. It was $1. I picked it up. Why not? There's die cuts and Ray Conniff. Ooh, there's a photograph of Ray. I don't know if I've ever seen a picture of him. There he is. Doing covers of El Condor Pasa, My Sweet Lord, Come Saturday Morning, one of his later albums, may have something interesting to listen to on it. And because it was a Crown, it's a tribute album to Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey, recorded by members of the Dorsey Orchestra, arranged and conducted by Maxwell Davis on Crown. And this will be interesting, and maybe there'll be something sampled from this to share as a musical sample. It's folk rock hits starring the fabulous guitarist Billy Strange on GMP Crescendo Records. The Montague 3 +1 Hot and Cool Calypso and Ballads. Beautiful cover on this record, which is out of where? Nassau's Bahamas. Basin Street East proudly presents Miss Leggy, she had legs, Miss Peggy Lee, recorded at the fabulous New York Club. Peggy Lee, and last but not least, it's not last, it's almost last but not least, because I think it's a comedy album, pretty sure Poems. It's a fun cover. It's Henry Gibson, that's right, Henry Gibson Poems and Other Poems by Henry Gibson, The Alligator and Other Poems, on Liberty. Then, Morgana King, Gemini Changes, produced by Don Costa. Will Don Costa be able to save Morgana King from herself? I swear to God. There's not a record I have bought of hers that it's just, where she's, whatever talent she has is not sort of manifest into a conceptual, single, good kind of collection of sides in a single, never mind, we're getting too deep there. What does she do here? Sunny, a cover of Sunny. Anyway, she kept trying though, she made a lot of records. That's right. So, I still got the truck to haul mulch and firewood in. Well, they haven't actually put a scrap of firewood in the truck in 3 years. And I still like it because it's got the Sherman Panzer doesn't have the GPS, but so my wife has used her phone so much now she can show me how to find shit on the GPS of my phone, using my phone, so I can still find my way around. Oh man, okay. That's it. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and got what you wanted. Thanks for stopping by, and now on to the musical sample.